Hey everybody, One of Weezem here, coming to you live from Trap Headquarters, aka the Pool Table. Just unboxed Wildfire, followed up by Tech Element Trap Master Jawbreaker. Now we're going to move on to one of my personal most anticipated Trap Masters, a man who will have a Nitro variant at Target here in the US tomorrow. And most importantly, someone who is absolutely crushing it in the Walkthrough Kings poll. He's got two of them that's set up as a poll battle on SkylanderClub.com forum. Check that out, vote if you have not, and we will have some good time with that. That said, it is, of course, Krypt King. He is hailing from the Undead element, saved him because he's alphabetical, and he's awesome. Very, very impressive character. Got to see him at E3. At the time, a lot of people were misinterpreting his attack. And I said it back in June from E3, what his, I think, tertiary attack was. It's actually like a swarm of locusts that comes out of his mouth. Obviously, given that information, it kind of ties in with the name, Krypt King. You're thinking Krypts, you kind of get that Egyptian vibe from his, aesthetics he's got going. So, should be a very cool character. I hate seeing things that spoil something for me, but one of the B-rolls I think that was sent out actually had Krypt King in action in it, and he was doing some incredibly cool looking stuff with that sword. So I cannot wait to see how that pans out. And he's going to be a good candidate for the Nitro, just because I think I'm going to definitely want both pass with him. So that said, packaging, since he is undead, it's actually color coded appropriately with the typical undead gray there. You've got the Trap Master in bright red so people can easily identify it. Packaging is super slick. It's got the prism look to the blister pack. This side is kind of like a binder. This actually opens up like a book. It's somewhat tedious and tricky to open. It's not like your typical traps or core characters, But that's because it's awesome packaging. If you note the focus, even when this thing's way down here, if I have it close, the main thing that's going to pull your eyes and catch your attention aside from the glare is Krypt King, and that's because he's encapsulated in this Traptanium looking package. What I mean by that, when we turn it to the side, you've got that and you think, well, you had that with other characters, 180 degrees. Well, check that out. Full view from the back side. You get to appreciate the detail before you open it. For those of you that are hardcore collectors and you keep everything sealed up, despite that tab, it reads through onto the portal just fine. But most importantly, you can actually display it and you can kind of showcase different angles if you want to. You can check out the back side and still keep it sealed. So that was a pretty cool nod towards collectors, in my opinion, and anybody that's just going to display this. And if you break it down and make it more simple than that, it works out very well for retailers because this gets your attention. It looks cool. It looks like something you want to own and want to have to play in the game. So that's it. Coming down here, we've got the Undead Element logo, Krypt King. His slogan, "I've got the edge." Right there, you got Ultimate Trappers. That, of course, refers to the boost the Trap Masters have when they battle the most wanted villains. Coming around to the side, you can see that green check under Trap Team. He will not work in previous games. He will work in Trap Team. Featured characters, Krypt King, Funny Bone available now, Hijinks available now. I sincerely hope that Batspin is out before Halloween. That would be fantastic. If she comes out anytime after Halloween, I will kind of be disappointed in that. I know that means you front load the Undead element, but it's Halloween, and that's when people want to be spookified and play characters and have a spooktacular time. So I really hope that she comes out. That said, this is all about Krypt King. Let's get back to that. You can kind of get a vibe for him there. He's got the sword wielded there. Well, it looks like he's about to strike or preparing for battle. He looks like a very imposing character. Coming around over here, Trap Master Skylanders. Trap and play as villains and powerful Traptanium weapons. Inset there, snapshot, put them in your hand, put them on the portal, play them in the game. Same thing there, but it's bigger and in full color. So really the packaging is simplistic, no character artwork here, but it's totally made up for by actually getting a 360-degree view of the real thing. And again, why do you need artwork when you've got the actual figure to look at? That said, these are tricky to open. Again, they kind of have like the notebook effect. I apologize about pulling him up here. I'm actually going to try this one, fittingly, with the knife. So, Krypt King is the first character treated to this attempted method. I haven't quite mastered the Trap Masters just yet. There seems to be some science to it. The knife does help, I'll tell you that. It's kind of hard to do this with the camera right in front of me. So, let's see here what I have going on. There's just this magic point where the plastic would separate, and it's very hard to see kind of the way they've structured it. And it also might be because little hoodlums come in and steal stuff from stores. I can't tell you how many times because I'm in, pretty much every week checking for variants. You would not believe how many times, if you really pay attention, you find a Skylander that's like been busted open and, somebody steals the stat card or something. So, I think I'm in. I think we finally got where we need to go. So, what I'll do now, again, it's going to be really hard to reseal the Trap Masters, but, if you want to, you probably can, but it's not going to be pretty when you actually do something like that. So I don't keep the packaging. If I was going to do that, I'd just keep it sealed, so not a big deal to me. But again, that's kind of like that notebook binder effect I talked about. I think moving forward, I'm not going to showcase that part to you. You realize it's a struggle. The struggle is real. I'm just going to cut it out. I'm going to open it, and then you'll see the character. So I think that'll make everyone happy. Now, what I actually like to do, note that this is kind of like a flap, and then the tape is from this part, and then that, of course, overlaps the tape. So a lot of thought put into that, very slick. Somewhere in there is the card and the sticker sheet, so we'll get those freed up. There's no like little protective plastic deal for them. If you want to keep the name tag, to put on storage cases or something, that's great. That's not what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here is kind of showcase like I did with Jawbreaker. And again, this will be the last time I do that part for you on camera. But what I like to do, instead of grabbing him by the Traptanium weapon and risk, bending it or breaking it, I don't think it would break, but you never know. The best thing to do, come in here, you can actually break the blister pack. It's designed to fold out of the way. That allows me to get my hands and your hands underneath the base, and then you pull it out by the base, and you don't run risking that sweet, sinister looking Traptanium sword. That looks really cool. The Chaos Trap is a solid non-translucent black, and then this is actually like a jet black that's translucent, and it looks wicked cool. This guy looks really, really, really good. This is Krypt King. Again, he's one of my most anticipated, and I love any time that they basically impregnate something or give the illusion that the weapon or item, like Chill in her Light Core pose, has pierced something on the base. That's just a really cool feature. So we've covered the epic Traptanium sword, which quite frankly is a pretty impressive deal. Jawbreaker's got the, fists or the gloves or the hands. Wildfire's got your Traptanium shield. Gusto's got the sweet looking boomerang. This is definitely the most intimidating one by far, and that's probably what draws me into him. Now right there, he's kind of got like a Chop-Chop-ish Archean look going on to him when you look at the character itself. He's got the nice armor plates. Looks like he's maybe concealing a six-pack of abs or something. I believe that would be designed to look like bone. Given that he's undead, it almost has like that illusion of fur, but I would be inclined to say that it's probably like skeletal is what's intended. Black and gold. I'm not a big fan of gold, but if you want me to be more inclined to like it, put a little black with it, and it does a very nice trick. Something about the black just really offsets the gold nicely. Red on the face, again, the skeletal colors. He's got the gold trim. Again, kind of more Archean designs, kind of got that Trapmaster look going. Speaking of, if you could see it, I think you kind of can. That right there is the Trapmaster logo, so that's where it's hidden on him. He's kind of got like the pharaoh headdress thing going on. There's a texture that I feel there. Okay, so that's got a little play in it. And it, fully detailed on the backside. And these are actually ridged. That's not just painted, and designed like, okay, paint line, paint line, paint line. That's actually, theoretically, the gold is higher level than the black, which is pretty impressive detail put into this. Now, note there's like a black tip on each shoulder pad, kind of like defensive, kind of got a, sharp into it. Hand open, hand on the sword again. This is thus far by a long shot, the most intimidating Trap Master I have seen. We're going to set him, actually we'll keep him, no, we'll set him down, and then the suspense will build and I'll have him rise up from below. That said, you get a stat card and a sticker sheet. Sticker sheet, that's what your artwork's going to look like. You get his name, QR code, and web code down below that. Speaking of stats, let's take a look here. Power or strength, 180 of 250. Defense or armor, 180 of 250. Speed, agility, 100 of 250. And luck, 50 of 250. That's going to ring him in at 360, 460, 510, which is again on par with what we saw with both Wildfire and Jawbreaker. So 510 out of a potential 1,000 on his stat card. Now what I'll do is bring him up top again. He slowly rises from the depths. And we're going to cover his background story before I let you go. Okay, I was checking some Twitter activity there. But, alright, here we go. Krypt King. Once again, Undead element. You should know that. Red base, trap team. Given his traptanian weapon and stature, he is a trap master. Slogan once more, I've got the edge. The perfect blend of sword and sorcery. Krypt King wandered Skylands for years as the disembodied spirit of a knight, until he found his way into the depths of an ancient Archean weapon vault. Upon finding an enormously powerful suit of armor, the spirit decided to make it his own. Unfortunately, this triggered a long-dormant auto-defense system. With alarms blurring, a massive sealed curtain chamber was opened, revealing a huge army of war machines. Krypt King launched himself towards the attack force, swinging his newly found giant sword until every machine was utterly destroyed. Realizing the power he wielded could serve a broader purpose, Krypt King sought out the Skylanders and was made a member of Trap Team, where he now uses his massive Traptanium blade to cut down evil. So, little known fact, I guess it's well known amongst like the hardcore crowd, but maybe you don't know it as a casual player or viewer. He was actually, I believe, modeled in time for Skylanders Giants, and I guess was considered as a giant. Don't know much more than that, but it's kind of an interesting little trinket there. Speaking of giants, let's go ahead. Ninjini is pretty much the tallest of the giants. So we're going to do a little size comparison here. I've got the orange and the red bases together. And I would say that his Traptanium sword is about even with Ninjini's, a little bit below the peak of her ponytail there, about in line with one of the swords. Granted, this is Scarlet Ninjini, same height, but you get the idea. I mean, she kind of dwarfs Jawbreaker and Wildfire, but Krypt King, on the other hand, thanks to his weapon, is about on par with her size. So another giant, just for reference on all these guys. This is kind of bonus content for you. You get the idea. The giants are slightly, I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something punny to say. They've got like a slight vertical advantage, I guess we would say. And I've got Patriotic Blast Zone back here. So let's see how a Swapper stacks up against him. So roughly the way I would call this, I would say core, obviously mini, core, Swapper, Trapmaster, giant. So that's kind of like a rough little addendum there for you. But bottom line, Krypt King looks awesome. I can't wait to get him on the portal in the game and check out his upgrades again. Nitro Krypt King's coming down. More Twitter activity there, phone and iPad working simultaneously together. But he will retail $14.99. He ships 2 per box. So here in Wave 1, you've got a hashtag warning for Wallop and Krypt King. They'll be the tougher 2 to find, assuming that people are drawn to them. You know, I don't know what other people will do. If I went into the store and I could just buy one Trap Master tomorrow, this would be my guy. So out of the Wave 1 character, probably out of any of them actually, him and Thunderbolt would be right up there. But tomorrow, Wave 1, if I could just go in and get one character standard, non-variant, non-starter pack, it would be Krypt King. That's how much I think of this guy, and that puts a lot of pressure on him to perform well. So hopefully he does that. But again, Krypt King, Skylanders Trap Team Trap Master, hailing from the Undead element. He'll be joined by Shortcut. So we'll kind of see how he works out, but I am very excited about him. He blends a lot of elements together that I think I'm going to enjoy. A little bit of Chop Chop. He's got a little bit of the magic vibe going on. He's got a little bit of an igniter spirit type thing going on in the background story. So that all adds up for a very cool character. And thus far, his Traptanium sword is my personal favorite weapon. I love Gusto's boomerang, and Snapshots actually looks really good too. But this is going to be tough to beat, so I'm going to quit doing this so I can unbox a little more stuff, get this video rendering and uploading, and as Krypt King would say, I've got the edge.